three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm, under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 3 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan, 79 degrees in Salt Lake. KSL's top story. Breaking news, 3 schools in Kearns were told to lock their doors and everybody had to stay inside this afternoon after a person was shot in the area. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera is joining us live from the scene with what we know. Eric.
Jeff, this all unfolded around 1:30, according to police, this afternoon here at 4055 West, 4865 South. It's a neighborhood here right behind me where they say they found an adult suffering from gunshot wounds. That person was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, and then, like you said, nearby schools, including Kearns Junior High, were placed on lockdown as a precaution. Police say they're now actively searching for 2 men believed to be in their 20s, both described as Hispanic. One was wearing a white shirt with dark bottoms, the other in a blue top and blue shorts. Investigators believe the suspects ran east from the scene, and officers have been canvassing roughly a mile to mile and a half radius. They're also asking neighbors right now to check any home surveillance video. Police say this appears to be an isolated incident, and there's no ongoing threat to the public, but they're still working to track down those 2 suspects. Reporting live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
We'll be following the story from the scene. Stay with us at KSL News Radio. It's 3:02. The outrageous behavior of a Utah mom has just cost ABC television more than $80 million. This season of The Bachelorette has been canceled. KSL News Radio's Reagan Edelman has the story.
Disney says they have canceled their new season of The Bachelorette. This after video was released of The Bachelorette Taylor Frankie Paul getting physical with her ex back in 2023.
Your daughter is right here.
The video obtained by TMZ and released today shows the star of the show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives throwing multiple stools at her baby daddy, Dakota Mortensen, while her daughter was in the room.
It's the only thing you know how to do is hurt me. Huh? And you think this is okay?
At the time of the incident, Paul was arrested and she pled guilty to aggravated assault. But the founder of Mom Talk was accused of domestic violence against Mortensen last after Bachelorette filming had wrapped. In a statement today, Disney said that in light of the video, they wouldn't be moving forward with the new season, which was set to premiere this Sunday. Instead, they say they're focused on supporting her family. Reagan Edelman, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 3:03. Breaking news, Salt Lake City is declaring a Stage 2 water shortage advisory. Mayor Aaron Mendenhall made the announcement just moments ago. This advisory calls on residents to reduce water usage by 10 million gallons a day. The mayor and public utilities are expecting it'll be accomplished through voluntary conservation, both in and outdoors. This advisory impacts outdoor irrigation and water used to clean the streets. It's the first time the city has activated its drought contingency plan since 2022. Meantime, as the meager snowpack melts, Governor Cox says he's not planning to take any action. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott with the story.
When it comes to the possibility of a drought, the short answer is it's too early to tell. At his monthly news conference, Governor Cox says we got a lot of moisture back in October, and April and May are often our wettest months. But Governor Cox did concede that there will still likely be restrictions as temperatures continue to rise.
We're in constant contact with our water managers all across the state. They know what they need to do to, they're doing their calculations right now to make sure that we're not releasing too much water from our reservoirs too early. And I do anticipate that there will be restrictions through most of Utah when we get into the summer months.
The governor said there was a silver lining. Despite record low snowpack, our ground is saturated, which means the melting snow will head straight for our reservoirs. Cameron Elliott, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story, they never got to vote on a war, but members of Congress will vote on whether to fund it. The president is asking lawmakers for $200 billion. ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers with details.
President Trump says his administration is being, quote, very judicious with its request for $200 billion in new funding for the war in Iran, telling reporters Tuesday in the Oval Office.
That's a small price to pay to make sure that we stay tippy-top.
But the president also suggested some of that money would go toward replenishing stockpiles that have been used to give weapons to Ukraine in recent years.
We're asking for a lot of reasons beyond even what we're talking about in Iran.
But he later said the U.S. has, quote, tremendous unlimited supply and that he's simply building the military. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
It's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Here's Jason Jones live from the KSL 24-hour News Center.
Jerry McNamara is the coach of Siena, and he's used to big game upsets from his time at Syracuse. I'm not sure that his strategy of playing his starters for the entire game was the right way to go. In the end, Siena was just too tired, Duke too powerful, and they win 71-65 over Siena. At least Siena kept it close and had some leads throughout the game. Also coming up towards the end of the game, Vandy is right now 65-60 better than McNeese. Just under 5 minutes left in that game. Louisville, TCU, and Nebraska and High Point, your earlier winners. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
There's the tournament. Here's the traffic. Ricky Meese is here with a first look.
Off to a bumpy start, especially in Utah County, where we have a ramp closure to northbound I-15 at 5th East American Fork as crews work on the traffic light at the top of the ramp. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
My minute's on the way.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370. 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and if you have a drain that's clogged or backed up, after you've tried the plungers and products, the next step usually involves some kind of drain snake or cabling equipment. You see, sometimes the blockage is far enough down the line that you need special equipment that most homeowners just don't have. That's where the Drains Department at Any Hour Services can help. A drain snake can clear most blockages and get the water flowing again, and clearing blocked drains is what our Drains Department does day in and day out. So if you're a homeowner with a drain line that's clogged or backed up and you'd like one of our drain technicians to come and snake the line for you, it's only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. What do you want to be when you grow up? We ask our kids that question from the time they're like 4 years old. At first, the answer is policeman, truck driver. Then as they mature, you hear influencer. But I'm going to make the case that your precious child should consider becoming a furry. Yep, a furry who roams the halls of his junior high swinging a cattail, but not to be weird. Little Liam should do it with purpose, because if he's good at it, someday he might put on a furry costume and lower a giant googly-eyed head over his own and then stand in the middle of a basketball court or on the foul lines of a baseball stadium seeking fame and fortune as a mascot.
Y'all ready for this?
Here's a local TV talk show host. Listen.
You and I picked the wrong profession. Mascots. We should have been professional mascots.
He's got the right idea. See, if your child wants to be an influencer, life is filled with drama. You don't just live your life. You're the actor, the director, the producer, prop manager, makeup artist, and marketing team, and you're also the product. It's emotionally exhausting, as you've heard from countless influencers who just give up. But if you're a fun-loving, fur-covered mascot, you're both famous and anonymous at the same time. Your entire job is to be a goofball and cartwheel your way to wealth. I've seen estimates that Jazz Bear makes $200,000 a year plus. The Denver Nuggets mascot, best paid in the world, Rocky the Mountain Lion.
Y'all ready for this?
He makes $625,000 a year.
$600,000. Our beloved Cosmo doesn't get paid at all, but he makes up to $500 an hour for personal appearances. If your offspring heads down this career path, there's no guarantee of success. But if little Liam doesn't make it to the big time, he can always fall back on work as the Chick-fil-A cow. The gig pays $15 an hour, same as the fry cook.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Crews are cleaning up and almost cleared this vehicle fire in Parley's Canyon, eastbound I-80 near SR 65 East Canyon. They are over to the right and all lanes of travel are open, so earlier delays have cleared. If you're on the southbound drive of I-15 in Salt Lake County, filling in, slowing down between 53rd South Murray to just past 7200 South Midvale. Northbound I-15 getting busy at the exit ramp at Bangerter Highway and Draper, and then again from the south interchange to where we had an earlier accident near 4500 South over on the right. A little bit more slowing northbound I-15 approaching the north interchange on the way to North Salt Lake. Eric?
Out in Tooele County, you've got a medical issue. It's over on the right shoulder southbound SR 36 between Village Boulevard and the Bates Canyon Road intersection. So you do have some slowing through there because of that. In Utah County, trying to get on northbound 15 from 500 East and American Fork. You got issues with the light there at the top of the ramp. And you do have a little bit of southbound slowing now on I-15 approaching the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit. Gear up for adventure at the Utah RV Super Show. Shop for top brands, talk with experts, and see the latest 2026 RVs. March 19th through 22nd at Mountain America Expo Center. UtahRVSupershow.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
For 3 straight days, we will rival or maybe even break the all-time March high in Salt Lake. 81 today, 83 tomorrow, 82 on Saturday. Finally, a reprieve down to the low 70s on Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
78 degrees. Guess which way tuition is headed at the U? We have the story coming up in just a few minutes. Stay with us. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. I have some good news for you today. Pay attention, pull over, whatever. American Home Loans has lowered their mortgage rates to only 5.5% on 30-year loans and 4 3/4 for 15 years. Yes, 5.5% fixed. But wait, what if rates go down again? No problem. Once you're a customer with American Home Loans, you don't have to worry about paying closing costs every time you refinance. That's right. Every time rates drop by 0.25% or more, they'll refinance you at no cost to you. Zero, zilch, nada. For details, call 801-262-2221. 262-2221. So now you can purchase a home or refinance at only 5.5% on 30 years and 4 3/4 on 15 years. And then if rates drop later, you can refinance at no cost to you. Call American Home Loans at 801-262-2221. 262-2221 or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com. AmericanHomeLoans.com. NMLS 245422, APR 5.8 30-year and 5% 15-year. Terms and conditions apply.
The weather is about to warm up. That means lawn care. Wouldn't you love a greener, healthier lawn without the hassle? Utah's tough climate doesn't make it easy, but J&J Garden Center has the answer to make it simple. So simple, you can do it yourself. The 5-step lawn care program at J&J Garden Center with Basin's Best Fertilizer is designed just for Utah's unique climate, giving you a thicker, stronger, weed-free lawn all season long. It's easy to apply, affordable, and covers up to 10,000 square feet. Just follow the simple 5-step plan and let Basin's Best Fertilizer do the rest and take the guesswork out of your lawn care. DIY and save big. No expensive lawn services needed. Get started today at J&J Garden Center and watch your lawn turn green with envy. Visit J&J Garden Center in Layton and get growing today. Just take the Layton Parkway exit to Main Street and head west on Gentile. J&J Garden Center. Country grown to your home.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today!" Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words "switch today" in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
Any Hour Services can help unclog any drain in your house, whether you have a backup, a clog, or a slow drain you want fixed. Call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
KSL News Time 3:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First, 3 schools in Kearns were placed under secure protocol this afternoon after someone was shot in the area. Police say they're searching for 2 men they believe were involved. Second,
hundreds showed up to protest a planned ICE facility in Salt Lake, ending with 3 people arrested for breaking windows. I'm KSL News Radio's Eric Brown.
Third, it's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Here's Jason Jones live from the 24-hour news center.
2 minutes left in the game between Vanderbilt and McNeese. This is a 12-5 matchup. Vanderbilt with an 8-point lead, 68-60. It looks like they might be able to hang on to this one. Michigan State up by 20 points over North Dakota State. Arkansas is up 18 over Hawaii at this point as well. Your earlier winners, TCU, Nebraska, Louisville, High Point, not Wisconsin, and Duke were the earlier winners. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
Traffic, here's Ricky Meese.
For those who are headed northbound on I-15, a new crash called out in Murray near 5300 South. Looks like they've been able to get everybody out of traffic to the shoulder, but not before causing delays. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
78 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Nearly 3 weeks into the Iranian war, the regime still carrying out strikes on key energy and oil assets in the Middle East. Today, Iran hit a refinery in northern Israel in retaliation for Israeli strikes on Iran's gas fields. ABC's Patrick Reevell is in Doha.
We've just heard Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the last few minutes give a press conference saying that Iran is no longer able to enrich uranium or produce ballistic missiles. It's possible that is true, but in reality, at the moment, we are seeing to actually increase the number of missiles it's being able to launch compared to the past few days.
President Trump met with Japan's prime minister today at the White House. Japan and 5 European countries say they're ready now to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which is blocked by Iran. ABC's Selena Wang has more.
This comes as many of those countries have explicitly said that they're not going to intervene militarily, pushing for a diplomatic resolution because this is an issue that affects these countries deeply. Japan gets the vast majority of its energy flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. This is having a big impact on them.
The Pentagon and the president also say they'll ask Congress for an additional $200 billion to fight the war with Iran. The labor activist who co-founded the United Farm Workers Union with Cesar Chavez is speaking out about allegations she was sexually abused by Chavez.
For the first time, Dolores Huerta speaking publicly about being sexually abused by Cesar Chavez. She says she was raped by him and had 2 of his children. It comes amid new allegations that he sexually abused women and girls for years. Huerta, now 95 years old, sitting down with ABC News.
It's devastating. It's devastating.
Huerta is among several women who have come forward in recent days alleging abuse by Chavez. There are now calls to change events and memorials honoring Chavez, who died over 3 decades ago.
KSL News Time 3:19. The University of Utah's decided to raise tuition. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis says it's a bid to keep their best professors.
The U of U wants to have competitive salaries. To do that, it's proposing a 3.5% increase starting this next fall semester. That would turn out to be $271 per semester for a full-time undergraduate student. Most of the money will go towards a 2.5% compensation increase. Despite the tuition raise, the school remains one of the most affordable among research universities in the West.
Plus, coming this fall, the university's Utah Promise Scholarship, which gives students whose families have less than $100,000 a year in income free tuition. KSL News Time 3:19. We have traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
A crash in Murray, northbound on I-15, right about 5300 South. It is out of traffic on the shoulder. However, it is still part of the backups going from just after 7200 South, almost to 45th South, and then more northbound I-15. Spots of slowing between 6 North and the North Interchange, but after that, a quiet drive both directions of I-15 through the rest of Davis County and Weber County. If you're on the southbound side of I-15 in Salt Lake County, that's a different story. Traffic is definitely picking up the pace and scattered slowdowns from 4500 South through Draper. The worst delay will be between 4500 almost to 90th South, Sandy, and you're clear on the east side freeways of I-215 and I-80. Eric?
Crash southbound I-15 approaching the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit in Utah County. It looks like this has been moved over to the right shoulder for a time. It was blocked in the far right lane. At any rate, you do have some slowdowns going by that just after 500 East is when you'll get into a little bit of a slowdown mode. Of course, once you get past the exit there to Pleasant Grove Boulevard, you're going to be at a normal pace now all the way down to Santaquin. If you're over on I-80 eastbound, so we've got your typical slowing to go south on the 215 West Belt. That's on that transition ramp. And you've got eastbound and westbound slowing 201 Highway in Magna, 7200 West. Two Brothers Mattress, come in and feel the Tempur-Pedic difference in all of their 5 locally owned stores. Visit twobrothersmattress.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Devin Mashuli is here. Have we set a record yet today?
We have not. Oh, well, actually, yes. We broke our daily record high. Sorry. The daily record high for Salt Lake is 75 degrees.
But the big one.
The big one we have not broken just yet. We actually even haven't hit 80 degrees because a lake breeze has turned on. So we've been stuck at 78 and 79 degrees for the past couple of hours.
All right.
But there's plenty of chances to do so the next couple of days. We have a forecast high of 82 tomorrow in Salt Lake City, then 83 degrees on Saturday. As we head into Sunday, a cold front will move through. It's a dry front, but it'll drop us to 70 degrees on Sunday. And we will quickly warm back up. Highs will be in the mid to upper 70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, likely breaking daily record highs again. And then another cold front will come through and drop us into the low 60s next Thursday.
All right, that's a cold front, but 70 degrees, we're calling it a cold front?
It is a cool front.
A comfortable front. A comfortable front on Sunday. Right now, though, 78 in Salt Lake City. Thanks, Devin. KSL News Time 3:22.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors.
Hey Utah, Jimmer Fredette here. You remember Jimmermania? When the building got loud, the tempo sped up, and you could feel something special was about to happen? That's the same kind of energy you get behind the wheel at BMW of Pleasant Grove. Quick acceleration, sharp handling, total control. Whether you're hitting I-15 for work, making the school run, or heading out for the weekend. Because great driving is like great basketball. Quick decisions, smooth moves, and confidence when it matters. And if you know my game, you know that I love the three-pointer. Catch it, rise up, let it fly. In a BMW, it's the same feeling. Smooth, precise, and dialed in. Like you're pulling from deep, and you know it's money the second it leaves your hand. The crew at BMW of Pleasant Grove makes the whole process easy too. No pressure, no runaround. Just a premium experience from shopping to financing to service that has your back for miles. So if you're ready to upgrade your drive and bring that game day energy to every day, visit BMW of Pleasant Grove or online at bmwofpg.com. BMW of Pleasant Grove. Drive elevated.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry. This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
We're watching Utah's money. Crude oil prices finally fell today, trading down to $94 a barrel. Not the same story for gas. Here in Utah, prices jumped another 14 cents overnight to $3.84 a gallon. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 204 points. The S&P fell 18. The Nasdaq gave back 62 points.
Man, I've got a cruise planned in a couple of months, and I was thinking about the other people who may have cruises planned coming up a few months from now, and why right now would be the best time for them to begin their weight loss journey on Soda Weight Loss.
If you started right now, you could lose 20, 30, 40 pounds before June.
That's right.
I lost 37 pounds in 3 months, 3.5 years ago. And the beauty about soda is it's not a quick fix. This is learning that is going to last you the rest of your life and help you be healthy.
Your clothes fit better. Your energy comes back. You don't get winded going upstairs.
Yeah.
Things that maybe you don't even realize. When I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, it felt like a transformation.
You learn what works for your body so you don't get addicted to shots or drugs. You just work with a nutritionist who's going to teach you how to keep the weight off for a lifetime.
Right now, you should go check out sodaweightloss.com, see all the thousands of before and after pictures, or speak with a nutritionist by giving a call 866-800-SODA.
Soda Weight Loss. Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
It's time to upgrade your arsenal with the Shields Field and Range Sale Event. Save on your favorite brands in ammo, firearms, optics, and more. You'll have to hurry, though. This sale only runs through March 22nd. Plus, with your Shields Visa, you'll earn an extra 10 points for every $1 spent on Vortex products at Shields, which means you'll earn even more My Rewards gift cards. Visit Shields or Shields.com and save now through March 22nd.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new. It's inherited. A ring from a grandmother. A necklace tucked away in a drawer. Pieces full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jeweler specializes in reimagining family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Duke's on-site jewelers and designers work with you one-on-one to honor the original story while creating something fresh, modern, and uniquely yours. From resetting diamonds into new engagement rings to transforming multiple heirloom pieces into one stunning design, every project is crafted with care, precision, and intention. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers on Main Street in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com. Duke's Jewelers, where old stories become new treasures. dukesjewelers.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Ricky Meese.
For those who are headed southbound on I-15 in Salt Lake County, we do have our usual delays that have already set in, and those slow speeds will stretch off and on from 53rd South Murray into Draper. Northbound I-15 a little busy and slow at the Bangor exit, and again from the south interchange to 45th South, more slowing off and on from 6 North to the north interchange. Also a new accident called out. This is going to be westbound I-80 at State Street. Eric?
Southbound Foothill Drive, slow from Sunnyside down to 2100 south if you're exiting the University of Utah area. Now, down in Utah County, you still got slowdowns approaching a crash that happened just before the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit. So southbound 15 below the normal clip for sure from 500 East heading down to that particular exit. Northbound looks pretty good from Santa Quintu, Point of the Mountain. Thirsty for better water? Culligan has you covered from softeners and filtration to bottle-free coolers and bottled water delivery. Trusted local experts make water taste amazing. Visit CulliganSLC.com. I'm Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for all-time March record warmth today. Forecasting a high of 81, sunshine and blazing hot for this time of year. 52 overnight. We bounce back to 83 on Friday. Blue skies. Mostly sunny skies and a high of 82 on Saturday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
79 in Ogden, sunshine, and 82 in Provo. In Miami Beach, it's only 72 degrees.
You're listening to Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 3:30 at KSL. Jeff Kaplan here. We're at 78 in Salt Lake City, KSL's top story. Breaking news. Police say one person was taken to the hospital in critical condition after a shooting in Kearns this afternoon. 3 schools were placed under secure protocol after the shooting. That order has since been lifted. Unified Police Sergeant Amy Race says police are currently searching for 2 men in their 20s who may have been involved.
One wearing a white shirt, dark bottoms, one with a blue top, blue shorts. And from the incident where the shooting occurred, we believe they went eastbound here to 4015 West.
Sergeant Race says if you have any information or footage that might help investigators, please let Unified Police know. Protests are one thing. Outside the site of Salt Lake's future ICE detention facility, rock throwing is another matter entirely. 3 people have been arrested. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera with the latest.
Help us free our neighbors from jail. Thanks.
Arrest documents we've obtained describe the protest as mostly peaceful until things shifted when some people in the crowd began damaging property. Salt Lake City police arrested 3 people out of the estimated 500 in attendance, including 18-year-old Chase Fredrickson, who they say was seen on video shattering windows and causing $3,000 in damages. 2 teenagers under 18 were also arrested. This all comes as community members push back on the reported purchase, worried it could expand immigration enforcement in the state. From Salt Lake City, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
A look at property records reveals that Homeland Security overpaid for the warehouse, spending $48 million more than the structure's worth. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson with the numbers.
Records show the nearly 25-acre property that was bought by Homeland Security last week was worth $97 million, and they paid $145 million for it to an LLC from Delaware, which is a subsidiary of a German asset management company. And Building Salt Lake reports Homeland Security paid more than $60 more per square foot than normal for a property of this size. The warehouse is likely to be transformed into a mega facility for ICE detentions, holding between 7,000 to 10,000 people, but many local leaders have stressed it doesn't have the infrastructure set up to house that many people.
We've contacted ICE for comment, but we've yet to hear back. About the ICE detention center, Governor Cox says he's frustrated that officials got no notice about this sale. Governor Cox says there is a need for the facility, but he wants to make sure it's done right.
When this sale went through, we were not given any notice. No members of our congressional delegation were given any notice. No locals were given any notice. That's, I think, a little frustrating for everyone. We want to work closely together to get things right. We have some other needs as well. Federal courts need space. I will say ICE has contracted with some of our local jails, but they also don't have a lot of space. So it's something that we need to get right. We've reached out to the administration to let them know that we want to work with them on whatever that looks like.
The governor says even if they wanted to, there's nothing state leaders can do to stop ICE because the federal government can ignore things like zoning. KSL News Time 3:33. Our top national story as the war continues. There's been a dramatic increase in attacks against energy facilities in the Middle East. The latest one, a missile attack against Israel. Here's ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge in Jerusalem.
It is being widely reported in the Israeli media that the largest oil refinery in the country, up in Haifa, has been hit. And that follows, of course, a range of strikes right across the Middle East, on those Gulf countries by Iran, on the United Arab Emirates, on oil and gas facilities in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia. And obviously that follows Israel's strike on that major oil field in Iran.
After a morning spike, the price of crude today actually fell a few dollars, but gas prices in Utah, they're up 14 cents since yesterday at an average $3.84 a gallon. The Senate has begun debate on the Save America Act. The Republican proposal requires you to prove you're a citizen when you register to vote for a federal election. But Utah's lieutenant governor says it's unconstitutional. It'd violate your right to a secret ballot because you'd have to include a copy of your ID along with your mail-in ballot. By the way, your driver's license is not proof of citizenship. It'd take a passport or birth certificate. And if you took your husband's last name, you'd also need a marriage license. KSL News Time 3:35. It's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Here's Jason Jones live from the KSL 24-Hour News Center.
Well, John Calipari is back in the tournament with yet another team, Arkansas, and they've gone to the half against Hawaii with a 54-39 lead there. Michigan State leads North Dakota State at the half, 45-25. All other games are final. We had our biggest upset of the day already, a 12-5 win by High Point over Wisconsin. That was 83-82. Your other earlier winners are TCU, Nebraska, Louisville, and Duke. With the KSL Bracket Update, I'm Jason Jones.
Follow tournament updates and all other sports updates at KSLSports.com. Now, first look traffic. Ricky Meese is here. What's going on?
A KSL texter giving us a heads up of a crash in Saratoga Springs, Pony Express Parkway by the high school. Right now, I'm looking at a live shot of Thunder Boulevard. I think this crash is blocking center and left lanes of travel at about past 200 West, so expect delays. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
My Minute's next.
It was opening night at Hale Center Theater for The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Victor Hugo's classic tale. I was with my son Ian, and it was nothing short of spectacular. The staging, the costuming, the music, it's simply breathtaking. And of course, the actors and the voices. You have to see The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's on the main stage right now at Hale Center Theater. So many of the scenes are never to be forgotten. For example, when Frollo is just struggling with his passion for Esmeralda and his soul, the flames and the tension on the stage is unbelievable. And to see the Hunchback up in the tower with the bells, don't miss Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's underway right now at Hale Center Theater. And continuing, Peter Pan Goes Wrong. That's on the Jewel Box stage and Hallmarked on the Beehive stage. Get your tickets now. hct.org. Don't miss the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement. And it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers, all connected to advance healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Did your bracket get busted yet? If you're still standing, congratulations, but I have a little secret. You're going to blow your bracket. The odds of getting every game right through the tournament, filling out a perfect bracket, is 9.2 quintillion to 1. Quintillion. That's the one with 18 zeros. To put it in perspective, you're more likely to become president of the United States than submit the perfect bracket. You'd be hit by lightning 100,000 times before you'd nail the NCAA tournament. It's actually more likely you'll be attacked 1,000,000 times by a shark. A perfect run through March Madness, guys. It's statistically proven you're more likely to give birth to octuplets. And they're a 20 trillion to 1 shot. A perfect run, pick every game. It's more likely you'll be killed by a falling coconut. Statistically, it's true. But if it bounces off your head and you survive, you have at least 24 more chances to get your bracket busted between now and Sunday night, so enjoy the action.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Your traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
Delays southbound to I-15 stretching off and on from 45th South Murray into Bluffdale, and the worst of the slowing will be from Murray to 90th South Sandy. Northbound I-15 getting busy and slow after you've passed the point of the mountain up to the Bangerter Highway exit. Those right lanes at the exit always heavy and slow, and then more slowing northbound I-15 at the south interchange almost to 4500 south. All clear on your east side freeways of I-215 and I-80 with good speeds there. Leaving downtown and headed north, you'll see traffic that's busy and slow from North Temple to the north interchange, and then southbound to I-15 now seeing delays set in Weber County going from Riverdale through Roy, as well as those southbound delays that have just been stubborn on Highway 89 from the Walmart down to the I-84 junction. Eric?
Still pretty slow southbound I-15 in Utah County, first approaching Pioneer Crossing and then heading down towards 500 East, and you've got a patch of slowing past that, approaching the Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Actually got an accident reported out on Pony Express in Saratoga Springs near Westlake High School, and we do see some eastbound slow and westbound slowdowns on Pony Express. If you're trying to get out to Saratoga Springs, Eagle Mountain, expect your usual delays westbound 2100 north from the freeway over to 3600 west, and southbound on Mountain View Corridor heading down towards SR 73. Performance Automotive in Bountiful, endless possibilities with 3 locations: Performance Ford Lincoln, Performance Honda, and Performance Toyota, where excellence is standard. Start your search at performancebountiful.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for record heat today, 81 the forecast high with blue skies and hot temps. 52 overnight, clear skies. We keep it clear tomorrow with a subtle south breeze. That may just kick our temperatures to 83. Sunshine, all-time record warmth for the month of March. 82, that would break another record there on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
We've made it to 81 record-setting degrees in Salt Lake City. On the way, Sam Farnsworth from KSL Sports joins us with a look at the action thus far in the NCAA tournament, so stay right here. We're streaming live on the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see, quality you can feel, and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. For the past 8 years, Wasatch Security Awareness has partnered with organizations across the Wasatch Front, helping them better understand cybersecurity risks and emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. Owner Matt Groves joins us with more.
Most business risk today has very little to do with technology and everything to do with people. At Wasatch Security Awareness, that's exactly where we focus, because most problems don't start with broken systems, they start with the everyday choices people make at work. That's why we provide customized cybersecurity testing and live training, real conversations with real people, not just another video everyone clicks through. When people can ask questions and see how threats show up in their day-to-day work, the lessons stick and behavior starts to change. We also help organizations make sense of artificial intelligence. Our AI literacy training helps teams safely implement AI into the workflows they already use, saving time, improving efficiency, and supporting better decisions. For Utah businesses, awareness isn't just about reducing risk, it's about building stronger, more resilient teams. The organizations that thrive tomorrow will be the ones who prepare their people today.
Wasatch Security Awareness continues helping Utah businesses navigate cybersecurity challenges, stay informed on emerging technologies, and reduce risk through education and awareness. Learn more about their work and resources at wasatchsecurityawareness.com. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
KSL News Time, 3:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
County property records show Homeland Security bought a warehouse in Salt Lake City for $48 million more than it was worth in hopes of creating a 7,500-bed detention facility. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
second, record high temperatures and record low snowpack, but Governor Cox says he has no plans to declare a drought or place any restrictions anytime soon. Third, it's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Here's Jason Jones live from the KSL 24-hour News Center.
Hawaii has come out of the break a little bit on fire. They've cut the lead against Arkansas to 13 points. It's now 60-47. North Dakota State has not come out on fire, and they are down 25 points to Michigan State at this point. Of course, we had earlier winners, TCU, Nebraska, Louisville, High Point, Duke, and Vanderbilt. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
81 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iran continues to target energy facilities in the Gulf, today hitting a refinery in Haifa, Israel. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge on when it went down.
Israeli media are showing images of the refinery up there with what appears to be a small fire or some kind of fire in the refinery. We know from a statement from emergency crews that they are on the scene up in that part of the country. We also know that there is another air raid alert up in Haifa right now, and it is in close proximity to the border with Lebanon.
The retaliation coming a day after Israel struck Iranian gas fields. Iran also keeping the Strait of Hormuz choked off to critical oil shipments that's driving up global oil and gas prices. The NTSB says it's investigating a close call at Newark Liberty Airport last night. An Alaska Airlines 737 and a FedEx 777 cargo plane nearly collided as they attempted to land on intersecting runways. Extreme heat not letting up in the western states. This is ABC News.
Gear up for adventure at the Utah RV Super Show. Whether you're outfitting a new rig or upgrading your current setup, you'll find awnings, hitches, solar panels, camping gear, and more. Shop top brands, talk with experts, and explore the latest 2026 RV models all under one roof. The Utah RV Super Show takes over the Mountain America Expo Center Thursday, March 19th through Sunday, March 22nd. Learn more at UtahRVSupershow.com. That's UtahRVSupershow.com.
KSL News Time, 3:47. KSL Sports, these college hoops players are leaving it all on the court. We almost had one major upset. Joining me live to talk about the tournament, KSL Sports anchor Sam Farnsworth. So, Sam, Duke almost got beaten.
Yeah, it was a bit of a wake-up call for Duke, that's for sure. Siena had them up against the ropes. I kind of felt like they were going to wake up any moment, and it just was very slow for them to get there. Yeah, number one seed, they have one of the top 2 or 3 players that are heading into the NBA draft in Cameron Boozer. And it just goes to show that, once again, March can be mad and anything can happen.
Yeah, the 16 seed almost took them down to the wire. So what else is sticking out to you so far as we head toward BYU?
Right. I mean, like you said, just the different upsets that have been happening in the tournament so far. You're always going to have 1 or 2 along the way. And we already had our first upset earlier in the day. It was when a 12th-seeded High Point, I couldn't remember, 12th-seeded High Point knocked off the 5th-seed Wisconsin by a point in their round. And so that already kind of started the upset alert for everyone who's filling out their brackets. Some bracket-busting games, and hopefully BYU is not on the receiving end of one of those.
Yeah, we're all eagerly awaiting the tip-off against the Texas Longhorns at, what time, 5:30. So how do you think they're going to do?
Correct. I think BYU's playing – the way they ended the season going into their conference tournament, you'd think, okay, this team is not going to make it out of the first round. But the way they played in the Big 12 tournament, they capped off the regular season with a win against the 10th-ranked team in the country in Texas Tech. They beat Kansas State, scoring 105 points. They had one of their best defensive performances of the year against West Virginia and a win there. And then they went head-to-head with Houston, the 5th-ranked team in the country, down to the wire. I think BYU's in a good situation to win 1 or 2 games here in the NCAA tournament. So I would expect them to beat Texas tonight.
All right. Buckle up, everybody. Sam, thanks for joining us. KSL Sports anchor Sam Farnsworth. Of course, we have the pregames starting at 4:30 and BYU tip-off against Texas live right here on KSL News Radio. Tip-off is at 5:25 p.m. right now. 3:49, and we have traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
A lot of slowdowns on the southbound drive of I-15 in Salt Lake County, a little bit between North Temple and 1300 South. But most of the delays where traffic has been filling in has been from 4500 South through Draper. Northbound I-15 bogged down after the point up to Bangerter Highway, and from 7200 South off and on to almost the 6 South exit over to the east. We're still in pretty good shape on I-215 and I-80. If you're trying to get into Davis County, it's getting crowded. And that's leaving downtown into North Salt Lake at the North Interchange, and southbound I-15 crowded and slow in Weber County between 31st Street, Ogden through Roy, and southbound Highway 89 just jam-packed and slow this afternoon from the Walmart down to South Weber. Eric?
Southbound Bangerter Highway slow south of the airport from about 700 south down to, let's say, 4100 south before it starts getting better. You got your typical southbound slowing. Mountain View Corridor as well, approaching 3500 south. And down Utah County, you got a crash just past, this is southbound 15, just past Pioneer Crossing. It's over on the right shoulder. And that's the reason why things are slowing way down. And right as you get to Lehigh's Main Street, now past that, we did have further slowing approaching Pleasant Grove Boulevard because of another accident that was moved over to the shoulder. Right now, though, it is clear sailing going through there if you're heading down to Orem. Looking to connect your kids with nature? Flower gardening is hands-on, time together, and memories. Olson's Greenhouse offers perfect plants for families to grow together. For porches, patios, beds, or containers, visit Olson's at ogg.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast looking very, very warm, abnormally warm. I got a high of 81 today. That could break an all-time March high. Tomorrow, we push the thermometer even further. 83, sunshine hot with a south breeze. 82, mostly sunny skies there on Saturday. Finally, a reprieve on Sunday, 70 degrees. We go back to 74 on Monday. Tuesday, 78. More record warmth next week into Wednesday, 79. That's the forecast high next Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. It's 81 degrees. Cougs fans, find that lucky shirt, your lucky cap. We're heading toward go time at KSL News Radio. 3:52. Imagine a world where you can leave the house and take your home Wi-Fi speeds with you. Thanks to Xfinity Mobile, it's not just a fantasy. Just picture it. You're at your kid's soccer practice, streaming the other game in 4K. Just like that. In the airport, download a cozy family comedy in a snap with Wi-Fi Power Boost. What if the places you had to be felt more like everywhere you wanted to be? That's the magic of Xfinity Mobile. Reliable Wi-Fi and 5G when you need it. Xfinity. Imagine that. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Visit xfinitymobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus regular rates for 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience, More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes, fees, extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Listen, parents, I've seen your search history. How to survive spring break without totally losing my mind. Take a deep breath because I'm about to make this so easy. This is Julie from the Visitors Bureau in Logan. Step 1, reserve your hotel room right now. Step 2, get to the American West Heritage Center for the original Baby Animal Days, April 1st through the 4th and 9th through the 11th. We're talking newborn lambs, sassy kids, goat kids, not your kids, and baby bears from Yellowstone Bear World. But wait, there's more. After you've held a baby chick and thrown a tomahawk like a mountain man, you'll be hungry. Head to Angie's for the kitchen sink. It's a ginormous banana split on steroids served in an actual sink. If you finish it, you get a job washing dishes. I'm kidding. Walk it off on a scenic mountain hike or head to the Cache Valley Fun Park for laser tag, roller skating, and bowling. Baby animals, epic eats, and practically zero stress. Head to Logan for spring break or anytime you need a break. Plan your vacay at explorelogan.com. explorelogan.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cypress Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypresscu.com today.
We're watching Utah's money on Wall Street today. Another down day. The Dow losing 204 points. The S&P fell 18. The NASDAQ down 62. Time for Cougar Tracks, brought to you by Advanced Window Products. High quality, affordable replacement windows. Jimmer approved. Check out their Window Mania. Here's BYU insider Mitch Harper.
It's an NCAA tournament game day for BYU basketball as the Cougars get set to take on the 11-seed Texas Longhorns from the Southeastern Conference. The Longhorns are coached by Sean Miller, a former Xavier and Arizona head coach. Miller once coached against BYU in the NCAA tournament back in 2007 when he was Xavier's head coach. And he's had battles with the Cougars since then. He has a lot of respect for the BYU program.
BYU's always been a very basketball-centric place when it comes to sports. You know, I think when you think about sports, you have a lot of respect for their basketball program and the history. Danny Ainge and those guys.
BYU versus Texas tips off in the first round of the NCAA tournament today at 5:25 p.m. with pregame starting at 4:30 right here on KSL 102.7 FM and 1160 AM. With Cougar Tracks from Portland, Oregon, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL. News Radio.
What's up, Utah? This is Jimmer Fredette. You know, back in the day, Jimmer Mania was all about making big shots. Now it's time for Window Mania. Get $2,500 off when you buy 10 windows or more from Advanced Window Products. Call them today at 801-850-9100. If your old drafty windows are a turnover, costing you money every month, it's time for a game changer. These guys are the home team. They're a local, family-owned company that manufactures their windows right here in Salt Lake City. They're built by Utah for our crazy Utah climate. When you buy from Advanced Window Products, you're buying factory direct. No middleman. That's how you score a winning deal. Their windows are tough on defense, blocking out the heat and the cold, which saves you serious money on your energy bills. And here's the slam dunk. Their lifetime warranty, which even covers accidental glass breakage, that's peace of mind you can't get from the other guys. Get in on Window Mania and tell them Jimmer sent you. Call 801-850-9100 or advancedwindows.com.
You're the gatekeeper of green, the master of mowing, the wizard of watering schedules. When it comes to your lawn, power moves are the only moves you make. That's why you use IFA's 4+ Lawn Care program, with nutrients blended for greener, healthier turf in our local soil. IFA's 4+ Lawn Care program. It's the ultimate lawn owner power move.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Ricky, what's going on?
2 crashes, same location. The one accident had been moved out of traffic to the shoulder, southbound I-15 after Pioneer Crossing in American Fork. Then we had a secondary crash blocking a center lane. UHP pulled up. They blocked all traffic in order to get that crash moved out of the way. We're having traffic move again, but not before the delays piled up into Lehigh. Eric?
And we've got northbound slowing coming out of downtown from South Salt Lake, heading up past Rose Park to the North Interchange. Replenish Landscape Garden Products offers the finest compost soil blends, bark, mulch, playground chips, and more. When you want the very best, visit replenishcompost.com. Replenish, it's good stuff. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
52 degrees overnight. Tomorrow, even hotter. We're headed toward a possible 82. Then 81 on Saturday before things cool off some clouds. And we're expecting a high of 70 degrees on Sunday.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 4 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. We're at 81 record-setting degrees in Salt Lake City. KSL's top story, developing news. Police are searching for 2 suspects after a shooting in a Kearns neighborhood. It led several schools to lock their doors this afternoon. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera is live. He's on the scene with the latest. Eric?
Jeff, it's still very much an active scene at the corner of 4067 West, 4865 South here in Kearns. Neighbors are outside talking with investigators, and the intersection is still taped off. Kearns police say about 2.5 hours ago, officers found an adult man with gunshot wounds. He was rushed to the nearest hospital in critical condition. Nearby schools, including Kearns Junior High, were placed on lockdown as a precaution. They're looking for 2 suspects who ran from the scene, and right now officers from multiple agencies are canvassing the neighborhood, going door to door and asking residents to check surveillance video. Sergeant Amy Race described them to us.
We believe both to be Hispanic males, possibly 20 years old, one wearing a white shirt, dark bottoms, one with a blue top, blue shorts.
She says to contact Kearns PD if you have any information on what went down, and those 2 suspects are still on the loose. Live from Kearns, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 4:01. ABC Television just lost out on $80 million after video of a Utah mom threw a wrench in their upcoming season of The Bachelorette. KSL News Radio's Reagan Edelman explains.
The newest season of The Bachelorette has been canceled just days before it was set to air after a 2023 video of Taylor Frankie Paul was released by TMZ today.
Stop, Taylor! You're done!
The video shows a physical dispute between the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star and her ex-boyfriend Dakota Mortensen, where Paul throws multiple stools at him while her daughter cries in the background.
I just got hit in the head with a metal chair! No! You! Go and help your daughter!
Hall was arrested and pled guilty to aggravated assault after the fight back in 2023, and additional charges of domestic abuse in front of a child were dropped. But recently she was accused of domestic violence against Mortensen again after filming of The Bachelorette had already wrapped. Disney's statement today says that they wouldn't be moving forward with the new season in light of the video's release. Reagan Edelman, KSL News Radio.
A Utah man has been arrested for attempted murder after a woman was found bleeding in a South Salt Lake alley yesterday. According to official documents, a camera in the area caught the man and the victim entering the alley together. Police say they located Jesus Ramirez Padilla nearby. He matched the description and had blood on his clothing. Police say he admitted to doing drugs with the woman and said he had wanted to kill someone that day. Salt Lake City is declaring a Stage 2 water shortage advisory. Mayor Erin Mendenhall made the announcement about an hour ago. She says this advisory doesn't require you to do anything, but she says the city needs your help.
All of our residents and businesses to help us in a reduction of 10 million gallons of water per day, service area wide. Now, for all of our our government facilities, they will be required to stay within their outdoor irrigation budgets and to reduce indoor water use by at least 10%.
Mayor Mendenhall says consider delaying watering your lawn till mid-May and check on your plumbing and irrigation systems for leaks. Meantime, Governor Spencer Cox says he's not planning to make any drought declarations anytime soon. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has the story.
The governor's message was simple. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, but it's still too early to tell. Governor Cox laid out a number of silver linings to this water year, like the fact that we have had good precipitation despite low snowpack, and our saturated ground will allow melting snow to head straight to the reservoirs. However, he did acknowledge the fact that Utahns across the state will likely have to prepare for water restrictions as we reach the summer months. Cox remained hopeful through the discussion and credited the state's water managers for their hard work to maintain a healthy ecosystem despite record high heats and record low snowpack.
KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott. The governor also said, we've yet to see Utah's wettest months in April and May, which could help us out. KSL News Time 4:05. It's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Here's Jason Jones live from the KSL 24-Hour News Center.
Michigan State currently up by 23 points, just under 10 minutes left in that game. Arkansas up by 15 with just over 10 minutes left in that game there. Of course, coming up a little bit later on this evening, BYU against Texas. Tip-off is scheduled for 5:25. It's going to depend on when these games end. That are this afternoon. Neither team can really play very good defense, but both teams can really score, so I'm looking for a pretty exciting game tonight. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
Follow NCAA tournament updates and all other sports updates at KSLSports.com. Now, first look traffic. Ricky Meese is here, and it's emergency traffic.
It is emergency traffic now in Weber County due to a crash on southbound I-15 after 4th South Pioneer Road in Marriott, Slaterville, blocking left lanes. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
My Minute of News on the way next.
This is Andy Farnsworth with One Kind Act Today's Minute of Kindness, brought to you by the Semnani Family Foundation. Hope Squad is a Utah nonprofit organization that was created in 2004 to reduce suicide through peer-to-peer intervention, a program that is now expanded to 40 states. It trains students on suicide warning signs and bullying prevention. Ogden High School recently had an event with hundreds of 4th through 6th grade students from varying schools to learn how to step up safely for friends having a hard time. Hope Squad members specifically are youth leaders nominated by their peers to help and uplift other students, leading with kindness and openness. Programs such as Hope for Utah are so important in schools. Students' peers can be more trusted than teachers, community members, and even parents or guardians. Go to hopeforutah.com to learn about starting a program at your own school. Find out more at thepowerofkind.org. That's thepowerofkind.org.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and if you have a drain that's clogged or backed up, after you've tried the plungers and products, the next step usually involves some kind of drain snake or cabling equipment. You see, sometimes the blockage is far enough down the line that you need special equipment that most homeowners just don't have. That's where the Drains Department at Any Hour Services can help. A drain snake can clear most blockages and get the water flowing again, and clearing blocked drains is what our drains department does day in and day out. So if you're a homeowner with a drain line that's clogged or backed up and you'd like one of our drain technicians to come and snake the line for you, it's only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
As the #1 small business lender, Zions Bank helps entrepreneurs reach and exceed their goals. Visit your local branch or zionsbank.com/SBA. Equal housing lender.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. What do you want to be when you grow up? We ask our kids that question from the time they're like 4 years old. At first, the answer is policeman, truck driver. Then as they mature, you hear influencer. But I'm going to make the case that your precious child should consider becoming a furry. Yep, a furry who roams the halls of his junior high swinging a cattail, but not to be weird. Little Liam should do it with purpose, because if he's good at it, someday he might put on a furry costume and lower a giant googly-eyed head over his own and then stand in the middle of a basketball court or on the foul lines of a baseball stadium seeking fame and fortune as a mascot.
Y'all ready for this?
Here's a local TV talk show host. Listen.
You and I picked the wrong profession. Mascots. We should have been professional mascots.
He's got the right idea. See, if your child wants to be an influencer, life is filled with drama. You don't just live your life. You're the actor, the director, the producer, prop manager, makeup artist, and marketing team, and you're also the product. It's emotionally exhausting, as you've heard from countless influencers who just give up. But if you're a fun-loving, fur-covered mascot, you're both famous and anonymous at the same time. Your entire job is to be a goofball and cartwheel your way to wealth. I've seen estimates that Jazz Bear makes $200,000 a year plus. The Denver Nuggets mascot, best paid in the world, Rocky the Mountain Lion.
Y'all ready for this?
He makes $625,000 a year.
$600,000. Our beloved Cosmo doesn't get paid at all, but he makes up to $500 an hour for personal appearances. If your offspring heads down this career path, there's no guarantee of success. But if little Liam doesn't make it to the big time, he can always fall back on work as the Chick-fil-A cow. The gig pays $15 an hour, same as the fry cook.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Ricky, all yours.
This is in Weber County, a crash with possible injuries southbound I-15 after 4th South Pioneer Road in the Marriott Slaterville area. And right now we have left lanes blocked, and that is causing stop-and-go delays into Far West. Even on the northbound side, all lanes are open, but we're seeing Curiosity slowing as you go prior to 12th Street, Ogden, past the accident. Now for Salt Lake County drivers on I-15, you're going to see slowdowns northbound at the Bangerter Highway exit, and then again off and on from 7200 south up to the North Interchange. Delays remain southbound I-15. Pretty consistent now between 33rd South all the way to Bluffdale. Eric?
Looks like the crash southbound 15 in Utah County just past Pioneer Crossing has been moved over to the shoulder. So right in the immediate vicinity of the crash, things are starting to loosen up there a little bit, but you still got slowing from 2100 north, pretty heavy, again down to Lehigh's Main Street. As for traffic on 2100 north, you got eastbound and westbound slowing from the freeway over to 3600 west, and your typical southbound slowing Mountain View corridor going from 2100 north down to SR 73. Experience West Side Story like you've never seen it before. Valley West brings this iconic story to life through breathtaking dance April 10th through 18th. Don't miss it. Tickets on sale now at valleywest.org. Eric Butler, KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for record heat today, 81 the forecast high with blue skies and hot temps. 52 overnight, clear skies. We keep it clear tomorrow with a subtle south breeze. That may just kick our temperatures to 83. Sunshine, all-time record warmth for the month of March. 82, that would break another record there on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
80 degrees even in Salt Lake City. Tuition is going up at the U. We have the story coming up. Stay with us. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. I have some good news for you today. Pay attention, pull over, whatever. American Home Loans has lowered their mortgage rates to only 5.5% on 30-year loans and 4 3/4 for 15 years. Yes, 5.5% fixed. But wait, what if rates go down again? No problem. Once you're a customer with American Home Loans, you don't have to worry about paying closing costs every time you refinance. That's right. Every time rates drop by 0.25% or more, they'll refinance you at no cost to you. Zero, zilch, nada. For details, call 801-262-2221. 262-2221. So now you can purchase a home or refinance at only 5.5% on 30 years and 4 3/4 on 15 years. And then if rates drop later, you can refinance at no cost to you. Call American Home Loans at 801-262-2221, 262-2221, or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com. AmericanHomeLoans.com. NMLS 245422, APR 5.8 30-year and 5% 15-year. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Mike Kay at My Policy Quote. And if you missed open enrollment or did enroll in one of those marketplace government plans, it's not too late. I save my clients 30 to 60%. That's an average of $3,500 to $9,000 in premium savings. At My Policy Quote, you can choose any doctor, zero deductible for outpatient expenses, and oh, one more thing, premiums are not tied to your income, so there's no surprise tax penalty at the end of the year like those government plans. And unlike those ACA plans where the use prices are dictated, with me, all of your costs are managed by you, so you control your out-of-pocket. If you pay your own health insurance, you're on COBRA, uninsured, your employer is just too much, or even self-employed or small businesses, call me, Mike, today. 385-367-6779. Again, that's 385-367-6779. Or visit mypolicyquote.com. That's mypolicyquote.com to get started now.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Any Hour Services can help you make sure your furnace keeps you warm this winter. Whether you need a tune-up, a repair, or a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
KSL News Time 4:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
despite record high temperatures and record low snowpack, Governor Cox says he has not planned to declare a drought or place any restrictions anytime soon. I'm KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott.
Second property records show Homeland Security bought a warehouse in Salt Lake for $48 million more than it was worth. It's the one they plan to use for a 7,500-bed detention facility. Third, it's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes, brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Here's Jason Jones live from the KSL 24-hour News Center.
Arkansas and Michigan State both continue to lead by the neighborhood of 20 points. So let's talk about some of the earlier games. TCU over Ohio State. Nebraska with their first tournament win ever in school history over Troy. Louisville was a winner. High Point with the upset, 12-5 over Wisconsin. That was 83-82 there. Duke Duke got pushed by Siena. In fact, they were down by 13 in the first half, but they ended up winning 71-65. Vanderbilt also an earlier winner there. Don't forget, BYU coming up a little bit more than an hour from now against Texas. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
80 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iran continues to carry out strikes on key energy and oil assets in the Middle East, damaging a major liquefied natural gas facility in Qatar and today targeting a refinery in Haifa, Israel, in retaliation for Israel's strikes on Iranian gas fields. ABC's Patrick Greville is in Doha.
A dramatic and very dangerous escalation here in the Gulf around energy facilities that was triggered yesterday by Israel targeting Iran's largest gas field. We then saw Iran retaliate and hit the world's largest natural gas terminal here in Qatar. According to Qatari officials, to the head of the Qatari state energy company who spoke to Reuters today, 17% of Qatar's LNG export capacity may have been knocked out in that attack.
Iranian-born Trita Parsi is a policy analyst who also founded the National Iranian Council. He's been critical of the war, calling it unnecessary, and says Iran has drawn a red line.
We do know that sometime while it...
An American fighter jet made an emergency landing today. A Central Command spokesperson says that the Air Force F-35 was flying a combat mission over Iran and landed safely at a U.S. airstrip somewhere else. The pilot in stable condition. Here's ABC's Louis Martinez.
We do know that sometime while this aircraft was flying over Iran, we're not specifically sure exactly where, there came information that the pilot had taken fire. And what we know from a source familiar with the incident is that this aircraft had to make an emergency landing because it took some enemy Iranian fire.
In Spain, the search for a missing American college student taking a new turn. Police announcing they found a body. It has not been identified. James Gracie, an Alabama student from Chicago, was last seen at a Barcelona club. You're listening to ABC News.
KSL News Time 419. The University of Utah's decided to raise tuition. It's so they can pay the professors more. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis here.
A full-time undergraduate student at the U of U will be paying an extra $271 per semester starting with the fall term. The majority of the increase will go towards keeping competitive salaries for their faculty members.
We are still the most affordable higher education institution among our research peers, particularly in the West, but across the country.
Communication Director Rebecca Walsh says U of U tuition is still $2,000 less expensive than the next similarly accredited research university. The university has stated several times they want to stay affordable, and starting this fall, tuition will be fully covered for students whose families have less than $100,000. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 419. Emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
And we have a parking lot. It continues to grow southbound on I-15. And these are stop-and-go delays starting in Pleasant View now in Weber County, all due to this crash blocking left lanes after Pioneer Road in Marriott-Slaterville. If you're on the northbound side, we're seeing Curiosity slowing, going northbound I-15 from Ogden up to where we have the crash at Marriott-Slaterville. And then for those traveling Highway 89, unusual delays today, and they've been there all day, and that's southbound Highway 89 from the Walmart down to the I-84 junction in Salt Lake County. Typical slowdown southbound I-15 between downtown and 2100 South, and then pretty solid from South Salt Lake all the way through Draper, northbound I-15, busy and slow at the point to Bangor, and then more delays starting prior to 7200 South into Murray, and again from 2100 South to the North Interchange. Eric?
And sticking in that area, we've got eastbound slowdown south of the airport on I-80 from Bangor over to the turn to go south on the 215 westbound. That's the construction area, and you've got actual slowdowns on both of the ramps, eastbound and westbound. I-80 southbound on Bangor itself, going from 700 south down past the 201 to 4100 south. That's slow. And southbound slowing Mountain View corridor, West Valley down to 35th south. The slowdowns in Utah County now on the freeway are southbound 15 from Triumph Boulevard down to 2100 North. Downsize without compromise. Homes that fit your lifestyle. Ovation Homes in Syracuse, West Point, and Layton. Learn more, ovationhomesutah.com. Ovation Homes, your best years start here. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast in the thick of the heat wave. 81 today. Sunshine, that could break an all-time March record high in Salt Lake. 83 tomorrow, even hotter. We go to 82 on Saturday, more record warmth. Then we dial it back on Sunday with a shallow cool front, 70 the high, mostly sunny. Couple of high clouds on Monday, 74, that could break a record. More record warmth possible now on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week with highs in the upper 70s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
80 degrees, your 7-day forecast, brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. Like Mussolini and Kennedy. I'm the cult of personality. The cult of personality.
I ask not what your country can do for you.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
Think about this. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 33 ounces of gold at the spot price. At today's prices, those 33 ounces would be worth over $150,000. Smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals. That's why I buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's a crucial part of my balanced strategy. Gives me peace of mind given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you too. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. Now that's peace of mind. Text Dan to 989898. Again, text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 today. Message and data rates apply.
Every love story has a moment when everything changes. The walk down the aisle, the first dance, the room filled with people who matter most. At the Joseph Smith Memorial Building in downtown Salt Lake City, those moments become memories that last a lifetime. With grand staircases, sparkling chandeliers, elegant ballrooms overlooking the city, private brides' rooms, and personalized catering, it's a place where weddings feel timeless, and every celebration feels extraordinary. Whether you're planning a beautiful wedding reception, an anniversary, or a special event with family and friends, the experienced team at TSH Events helps bring every detail together so you can focus on what matters most. Call us today and schedule a time to meet with our event coordinators, because the most important days in life deserve a setting just as unforgettable. Let us help make your special day something you'll always remember without any of the hassle. Start planning your celebration today at tshevents.com. Timeless elegance meets unforgettable events. tshevents.com.
We're watching Utah's money. The national debt's hit a new record high. Just weeks after the initial strikes on Iran, AP is reporting it's now at $39 trillion. Rising national debt means the U.S. government has to spend more on interest payments, same as when you run up your credit card. More layoffs blamed on artificial intelligence. Crypto.com has cut 12% of its workforce Their CEO says the employees' roles didn't fit into the new world as they integrate more AI. On Wall Street today, the Dow down 204 points, the S&P down 18, the Nasdaq was off 62, and since last night, the price of gas in Utah is up an average 14 cents to $3.84 a gallon.
The weather is about to warm up. That means lawn care. Wouldn't you love a greener, healthier lawn without the hassle? Utah's tough climate doesn't make it easy, but J&J Garden Center has the answer to make it simple. So simple, you can do it yourself. The 5-step lawn care program at J&J Garden Center with Basin's Best Fertilizer is designed just for Utah's unique climate, giving you a thicker, stronger, weed-free lawn all season long. It's easy to apply, affordable, and covers up to 10,000 square feet. Just follow the simple 5-step plan and let Basin's Best Fertilizer do the rest and take the guesswork out of your lawn care. DIY and save big. No expensive lawn services needed. Get started today at J&J Garden Center and watch your lawn turn green with envy. Visit J&J Garden Center in Layton and get growing today. Just take the Layton Parkway exit to Main Street and head west on Gentile. J&J Garden Center. Country grown to your home.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be 6 figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
Emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Ricky, what's up?
It's just a mess in Weber County southbound I-15 with delays starting in Pleasant View, all due to a crash blocking left lanes prior to 12th Street in Ogden. Find an alternate if you can, and then southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County. Most of the delays will stretch from South Salt Lake through Draper. Eric?
And you got northbound slowing going through South Salt Lake, starting right before the I-80 and 201 turnoffs, heading up to about 1300 south. If you're over next to the airport, south under the airport, you've got eastbound slowing I-80 and that transition ramp to go south on 215. That's typically slow. And southbound slowing Bangerter Highway, heading down into West Valley City, down in Utah County. Pretty long stretch of southbound I-15 slowing now, Timpanogos Highway to Linden. Gear up for adventure at the Utah RV Super Show. Find gear, talk with experts, and explore new 2026 RVs. March 19th through 22nd at Mountain America Expo Center, UtahRVSupershow.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Traffic and weather together on the 9s, 52 overnight. Tomorrow it's going to get even hotter. We're headed toward a possible 82, maybe 83 degrees.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Time for the BYU pregame show.
The following is a presentation of the new skid, BYU Sports Network. BYU Cougars basketball is on the air.
AJ, okay, move, finds move for 3 left side. Yes!
This is Mountain America Cougar pregame live. Mountain America, the official credit union of BYU Athletics, getting you ready for BYU versus Texas. Here's your host, Dave McCann.
We have been waiting all year for this day and all day for this game. Good afternoon. This is Cougar Pregame Live, presented by Mountain America Credit Union, the official credit union of BYU Athletics. Today, the BYU Cougars take on the Texas Longhorns in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Portland, Oregon. You got to wear the blue blazer when you go to the big dance. That's what the late Al McGuire told a reporter in 1977. He'd worn a bright blue blazer during the season and committed to keep wearing it in the NCAA tournament. His Marquette team went on to win the championship, and from that point on, the NCAA tournament was lauded as the Big Dance. This is BYU's 33rd Big Dance. Only 19 schools have more NCAA tournament appearances. 33 is also the most for a program who has yet to reach a Final Four. The Cougars' 2026 quest begins with Texas. The Longhorns' Tremont Mark hit a jump shot with a second remaining to beat NC State 68-66 on Tuesday in the first four in Dayton, Ohio. Mark led Texas with 17 points. BYU comes into this game as a 6th seed in the West region with a 23-11 record. Texas is the 11th seed at 19-14. Today's the 8th meeting all-time between the Cougars and Longhorns. BYU leads the series 5-2. They last met back in the 2023-24 season. The Cougars beat them 84-72 in Provo. When Cougar Nation thinks of BYU and Texas, they think of football and Taysom Hill. But today it's basketball and A.J. DeBonsa. There are some memorable moments in BYU's tournament history. Last year, as a 6th seed, the Cougars beat VCU 80-71 and then upset 3rd seed Wisconsin 91-89. That victory put BYU back in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2011. The Cougars then ran into 2nd seed Alabama, and the Crimson Tide hit an NCAA tournament record 25 three-pointers to win 113-88. BYU still owns the largest comeback in the Big Dance, rallying from 25 points down to beat Iona 78-72 in the 2012 First Four. Noah Hartsock led the charge with 23 points. As for one of the most iconic moments in tournament history, you go back to 1981, when Danny Ainge, a kid born on St. Patrick's Day, raced the length of the floor and made a layup over the outstretched arms of Orlando Woolridge to stun the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame 51-50 and send the Cougars to their only appearance in the Elite Eight. How far will this year's team go? Time and rebounding are the revealer of all, and we'll soon find out. What we do know is the spotlight will be on BYU's freshman sensation, A.J. DeBonsa. He's dreamt his whole life of playing in the NCAA tournament, and today is that day. On the A.J. watch, averaging 25.3 points per game, DeBonsa is college basketball's leading scorer, a first for BYU since Jimmer did it in 2011. A.J. just set the Big 12 tournament scoring mark with 93 points in 3 games, breaking the record of his hero, Kevin Durant. Today, A.J. can also take down Durant's alma mater. DeBonsa is projected to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. That would be another first for BYU. With 8 points today, he'll become the 2nd highest scorer in BYU's single-season history. Jimmer is first with 1,068. Devin Durant is next with 866. And A.J. is third with 859. A.J. also on pace to have the 4th highest scoring average in BYU history. And for a freshman to do that in a program that's been playing basketball since 1902, that's saying something. This week, DeBonsa was named first-team All-American by the Associated Press and by NABC and USBWA. He becomes the first multiple first-team All-American at BYU since Jimmer in 2011 and the 3rd ever, including Danny Ainge in 1981. Here's what A.J. said to the media in Portland about how last week's Big 12 tournament has them ready for tonight.
It just gave us some extra motivation, playing those extra 2 games. It kind of, gave us a kind of, it's not a live practice, but I guess some live bodies, what we could do on the offensive side, which was putting up the most points by any team in the Big 12 tournament at 105. And it showed that we could hang with bigger teams like Houston, even though we didn't come up with the win, but we were neck and neck with them. And Coach said that we had our best defensive performance against West Virginia, so, it helped us a lot.
That's A.J. DeBonsa talking to the media yesterday in Portland. Coming up next, we'll take you live to the Moda Center there in Oregon for our courtside conversation with Mark Durant. It's the NCAA tournament, BYU and Texas. Cougar Pregame Live continues after this on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Cougar fans, it's time
to you to join me here weekday afternoons, breaking updates, traffic reports, and my minute of news on KSL News Radio.
Colors while you shop. Don't miss out. Score your BYU cards today at any Mountain America branch or visit macu.com/BYU card for details. Insured by NCUA. Loans on approved credit. Membership required based on eligibility.
The power of we believes in you. It advocates for you. It completes your circle. It makes sure you have the strongest circle possible. And with Intermountain Health in yours, you'll always have the care you need to live the healthiest life possible. That's the power of we. Intermountain Health.
Game day traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. And the delays continue to pile up on southbound I-15 starting right around Pleasant View in Weber County. And this is going to just come to a crawl with traffic creeping along, all due to a crash at Marriott Slaterville's Pioneer Road. Only a right lane of traffic getting by at this time. In Salt Lake County, we do have some slowdowns southbound I-15 between North Temple and 2100 South, and one long solid stretch of delay going from just after 3300 South through Draper. If you continue southbound I-15 into Utah County, that's bogged down from SR 92 Temp Highway to Linden. Northbound I-15 slow at the point into Draper, and then off and on delays from Midvale all the way up to the North Interchange. Also seeing some slowing northbound on Legacy, Woods Cross, and Bountiful. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Open in American Fork, Lehigh, Provo, South Jordan, and Harriman.
With more Mountain America Cougar Pregame Live, here's Dave McCann.
Welcome back to the Cougar Pregame Live ahead of BYU's first-round game against Texas in the NCAA tournament. Time for our courtside conversation with Mark Durant, presented by R&R Barbecue. You can't spell Durant without R&R. R&R Barbecue, good food, real protein, built for Cougar Nation. We welcome Mark from the Moda Center in Portland, home of the Portland Trailblazers, tonight home to the first round of the Big Dance. And, Mark, there's no shortage of Cougar fans in that Portland area. We all know that. So what's the vibe like in the arena?
Well, it's pretty quiet right now because they get everybody out of here in between sessions, and it's really a struggle to get them back in by the time the game starts. I remember calling a game in Anaheim, and it were hard. There's just a handful of fans when the game started. So it's a little bit different here, but a beautiful place. My last memory here, I think, was when BYU came and just trounced Oregon a few years ago, and so I have good memories here, and it's always cool, as you know, to be at the NCAA tournament. It just feels different. It feels bigger. It feels better, and every game is exciting. And yeah, I mean that's what everybody plays for, and here we are.
Let's go back to March 15th, 1990. BYU's playing Clemson, first round of the tournament. You're a freshman, fresh out of Provo High School, and in the starting lineup. What made that moment different from anything else you've experienced as an athlete?
Well, fun fact, Dave, Mark Durant, one of his few claims to fame as a basketball player was scoring the first bucket of the 1990 NCAA tournament. We were on the East Coast and got the tip and went down. I got a layup to score the first basket of that tournament. And then I think I fouled out, and then I got like 3 fouls in the next minute trying to guard Del Davis and Eldon Campbell. So that was a really fun, exciting experience. Heartbreaking loss, actually one of the most heartbreaking losses I think in BYU history. And anyway, so I still think about that. I still think about that game every day, and it's funny how that sticks with you. But it was all new to me at the time, and now I've been fortunate enough to see BYU in the tournament for many, many years, and had some great experiences, and hope to see another great run this year.
A.J. DeBonce is a freshman in the starting lineup for his first tournament game today. He's a unique talent, but his heart beats like everybody else. So what will this be like for him, especially early on?
Well, he's like everyone else, but he's not. I can't imagine being in the spotlight. He's 19, but he's been in the spotlight almost his whole life, and just everybody expects greatness from him. There's a lot of expectations. The fact that he's at BYU is amazing, and a credit to what BYU has done over the years and the coaching staff and the resources that BYU now has to be able to attract someone like AJ. And so he's different. He's not just your typical freshman. He's kind of already been through a lot of gauntlets, and so I think the NCAA tournament, as I think back on the great teams of the tournament, and there's always been a great player. And I just think, as important as the team is, and great players have to be on a great team to win it, but you need to have a great player. And I think the tournament's built for a guy like AJ. There's a lot of expectations, but with that said, I think he plays his best when people expect him to. And this is kind of the big show, and I think he thrives for that. He craves that. And so I expect great things from him. I don't worry about putting too much pressure on him by saying things like that, because I think that's just who he is. And that's the characteristic, I think, of most great players. They love it. They love the spotlight. They love the game. And this is kind of what they build themselves for. And so we'll see how AJ does, but I think he's going to be special in this tournament.
BYU comes in a slight favorite. As you look at this matchup with Texas, what areas will be the difference makers for the Cougars?
Well, Texas is a team that reminds me kind of the old San Diego State teams, where they just kind of put their head down and try and create contact and get to the free throw line. And if they miss a shot, then they're just crashing the boards and trying to overwhelm you with their size and athleticism and rebounding and getting to the free throw line. It's certainly a dangerous team. They haven't had a great year. They've kind of limped into the last couple weeks, month of the season. In some ways, like BYU's kind of bounced back in their last few games, but Texas has struggled. But they got a big win against NC State. And the fact of the matter is, they're a strong, athletic team like you'd expect Texas to be. I think in this point, when you talk about double-digit seeds, you're going to get one of two teams, right? You're going to get the really spunky, high-point type teams that have won 30 games, and they just, playing with a lot of energy and are used to winning, but don't maybe have the athletic caliber, or you get kind of the middling Power 4 teams that maybe haven't performed particularly well but have great athleticism. So what do you kind of want to face, I guess, is the question. And sometimes it's hurt BYU because they play those mid-conference teams and we're overwhelmed by athleticism. I think the good news for BYU is BYU now has that type of athleticism to match that. So I think it's a good matchup, but it's going to be tough to keep Texas off the boards and off the free throw line.
These are special occasions. The great Mark Durant. Enjoy the call with Greg today. Have some fun up there in Portland, Oregon. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, my friend. We'll see you.
Next, we'll dive into the madness with scores from around the tournament. It's the big dance. Time to turn up the music. You're listening to Cougar Pregame Live on the new skin BYU Sports Network.
You need a deck. You want a pool. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, N.A. member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
Enjoy more ways to save at Smith's, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Smith's app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Smith's, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Smith's, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
It's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes, brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Now, we had earlier games. We're right now in the kind of between the day session and the night session as they get things reset. So no current games going on. The next one that's going to tip off is going to be VCU against North Carolina. That should come your way close to about 5 o'clock. Earlier winners, Michigan State, Arkansas, Duke, Nebraska, High Point, and Vanderbilt. Also Louisville and Ohio State. Of course, coming up in about 45 minutes, BYU against Texas. We will be carrying that live on KSL. We can't stream it due to NCAA rules, but you can catch it right here on the air. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
And for those who are traveling through Weber County southbound I-15, emergency traffic due to a crash blocking the left lane after Pioneer Road in Marietta, Slaterville. It is causing stop-and-go delays back to the Smith and Edwards. You may want to consider hopping off I-15, taking an alternate route in Salt Lake County. Your typical delays, southbound I-15, downtown to 2100 South, and again from Murray into Draper. Some northbound slowing on the West Belt, West Valley up to Rose Park. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Here's Dave McCann with more Cougar Pregame Live on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Welcome back to Cougar Pregame Live, presented by Mountain America, official credit union of BYU Athletics. Coming up is BYU and Texas in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Portland, Oregon. Here are the scores from around the big dance so far. In the East region, TCU, the 9 seed, upsetting Ohio State, the 8 seed, 66-64. The Horned Frogs hit the game winner with 4 seconds to play. Top seed Duke survived Siena, 71-65. The Blue Devils trailed by 13 points, but Siena ran out of gas down the stretch. The 6 seed Louisville beating 11 seed South Florida 83-79. In the South region, 4 seed Nebraska pounded 13 seed Troy 76-47. The Huskers' first ever NCAA tournament victory. And the 5 seed Vanderbilt Commodores beat number 12 McNeese 78-68. First tournament win for Vandy in 14 years. In the West region, the stunner of the day so far, 12 seed High Point beats the 5 seed Wisconsin Badgers 83-82 in a game played in Portland. The Panthers were 0-57 against Power 4 teams before today and picked up their first win in tournament history. A few minutes ago, 4 seed Arkansas finished off 13 seed Hawaii there in Portland 97-78. And in the Midwest region, 3rd seed Michigan State routed the 14 seed North Dakota State 92-67. Tonight's schedule, in addition to BYU and Texas, 11 seed VCU and 6 seed North Carolina start up in a few minutes at 4:50. 16 seed Howard and top seed Michigan start right around 5:10. Texas A&M and St. Mary's go at 5:35. Penn and Illinois at 7:25. St. Louis and Georgia at 7:45. Idaho and Houston at 8:10. All these mountain times. Kennesaw State and Gonzaga 30 minutes after BYU and Texas finish up in Portland. Tomorrow, Big 12 teams in action. Texas Tech and Akron at 10:40. Arizona and Long Island at 11:35. Iowa State and Tennessee State at 12:50. UCF in an interesting game with UCLA at 5:25. And tomorrow night, Kansas and Cal Baptist at 7:45. Another notable game, 8 seed Villanova and 9 seed Utah State tomorrow at 2:10 in San Diego. BYU beat Villanova in Las Vegas back on November 3rd in the season opener. Women's basketball for BYU, they host Alabama A&M tonight at 7 in the first round of the WBIT tournament. Cougars are the top seed after being the first team left out of the NCAA tournament. You can listen on BYU Radio and watch on ESPN. Cougar baseball at number 20, West Virginia, trailing 7-2 in the 7th are the Cougars. Softball is at number 21, Oklahoma State, starting up at the top of the hour. And BYU football tomorrow is pro day for a handful of Cougars as they work out for a bevy of NFL scouts. Live coverage on BYU TV starts at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Up next, we'll send you to the Utah Ice Center's courtside seats at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon for the Cougar Pregame Coaches Show with Greg Wrubell. It's tournament time, BYU and Texas. You're listening to BYU Basketball on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
You need another bathroom. You want a back patio retreat. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, N.A., member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
Bamboo HR knows that your business needs more than doable. You need powerful. When changes hit, you need adaptable, scalable, customizable. So when you're growing, you've got employees hireable, hires onboardable, paychecks payrollable, performance manageable, and benefits administrationable. All on a platform that's easy to usable, endlessly dependable, everything HRable. So your team can be formidable, unbreakable, unstoppable. Because when you need more than doable, that's Bambooable. BambooHR.com.
Game day traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Well, for those who are in Weber County, the delays remain. Emergency traffic continues on southbound I-15 up north. The crash in Marietta, Slaterville, still blocking a left lane, creating a parking lot back to Smith and Edwards on the way to Box Elder County. Now here, a little closer to home, we do have slowdowns westbound on I-80, trying to get into Tooele County from Magna over to the 202 junction. In Utah County, the southbound drive of I-15 remains heavy and slow from SR 92, Timpanogos Highway, all the way into Linden. Northbound I-15 still seeing a slow ride from the point of the mountain to the Bangerter Highway exit in Draper, and then again from the south interchange in Murray all the way to the north interchange in North Salt Lake, and then the 21st South Freeway. Slowdowns westbound between I-15 and I-215's west belt, then clear until you're passing Mountain View Corridor, where it's slow from there into Magna, and some slowing eastbound I-80 Bangerter to I-215. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Pre-game coaches show on the new skin, BYU Sports Network. Zions Bank. Make smarter plays and build stronger finances with Zions Bank. Let's take you courtside and join the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Good evening, Cougar basketball fans, and welcome courtside inside the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon, site of first and second round games in the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship. Tonight we bring you action from the West region as 6th seed BYU takes on 11th seed Texas in the Cougs tournament opener. The Longhorns playing their second tourney game, having gotten out of Dayton with a win over NC State on Tuesday night. Texas ended up leaving Dayton at 3 in the morning local time after a flight delay following that late night game. BYU playing as a 6th seed for the 4th consecutive NCAA tournament. Cougs advanced to the Sweet 16 as a 6th seed just last season. All-time, BYU's a 5-4 record as a 6 in the NCAA tourney. In BYU's lone Elite 8 appearance in 1981, you guessed it, BYU was a 6 seed. On the flip side, there has been at least one 11 seed defeating a 6 seed in each of the last 20 NCAA tournaments. BYU lost to the 11 as the 6 in both 2021 and 2024. My name is Greg Wrubell, and I'll have your play-by-play call this evening. With me is my 29-season broadcast partner, the former Cougar hoopster himself, Mark Durant. Mark, today we tip off our 15th NCAA tournament together. You also played in 3 NCAA tourneys for BYU, whether as a player or as a broadcaster. The thrill of being involved in March Madness just never diminishes, does it? Just reaching this stage of the season, always significant. BYU head coach Kevin Young now 2 for 2 in taking his team to the tourney. Tonight we see if BYU can extend its season into at least the weekend and then hopefully beyond.
Every season is a journey, Greg, and the destination is the NCAA tournament. There's a lot of neat stops along the way, a lot of sights to see, a lot of fun times to be had, but it's really about getting here. And the first meeting I ever went to as a player, you set goals. The number one goal is always NCAA tournament. And so BYU's done that. It's been an interesting year, a really fun year, an exciting year. But now is the moment. And I'm excited to see what this team will do. They've certainly had some setbacks. It breaks my heart to see Richie Saunders limping around this building. I want to see him on the floor. And BYU's had some challenges, but that's the nature of things. And now I like how this team's playing. I like how hard they're playing. They seem to be coming together as a team at the right time. But this will be a big challenge. I mean, this is Texas. They've got good athletes. They're coming off a big win themselves, and this will be a fun one. But this is the destination. This is why teams do what they do and players do what they do to get to this moment, and it's a special one.
All right, coming up, we'll have a pregame conversation with BYU head coach Kevin Young. Next, as the Zions Bank Cougar pregame coaches show continues live from the NCAA tournament in Portland on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
What if I told you there's an onion that won't make you cry? I'm Patrick Fishburne, PJ golfer and proud BYU alum, and I'm talking about Smiley's onions, grown right here in Utah. Smiley's aren't just sweet and full of flavor, they're also an onion that keeps you from crying. That means no more watery eyes, no goggles, and no more kitchen hacks. Smiley's onions are the perfect kitchen companion to keep your eyes and taste buds happy. Look for Smiley's in the sweet onion aisle. Just spot the bright pink Smiley's packaging to take home a taste of Utah's best. Learn more at Smiley'sOnions.com.
Bamboo HR knows that your business needs more than doable, you need powerful. When changes hit, you need adaptable, scalable, customizable. So when you're growing, you've got employees hireable, hires onboardable, paychecks payrollable, performance manageable, and benefits administrationable. All on a platform that's easy to usable, endlessly dependable, everything HRable. So your team can be formidable, unbreakable, unstoppable. Because when you need more than doable, that's Bambooable. BambooHR.com.
It's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes, brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. Getting ready to tip off right now between VCU and North Carolina. That's an 11-6 matchup. We haven't had an 11-6 upset yet. We did have a 12-5 upset a little bit earlier. That was High Point over Wisconsin. Duke also got pushed earlier by the 16-seed Siena, but in the end, they pulled it out. And of course, don't forget, just about a half an hour from now, it's going to be BYU tipping off against Texas. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
And game day traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. An update of the emergency traffic in Weber County. The crash that started it all, southbound I-15 at Marriott Slaterville, has just been cleared. All lanes are open, but we have a parking lot all the way back to the Smith & Edwards store. We're only now starting to see traffic move a little bit, but these delays, residual backups, will continue. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
It's time to hear from BYU head coach Kevin Young as we return to the Zions Bank Cougar Pregame Coaches Show. Here's Greg Wrubell.
Before we hear from BYU head coach Kevin Young, let's pause a mere 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the new skin BYU Sports Network.
Utah's legacy home of the Cougars. KSL FM Midvale. KSL Salt Lake City.
We are coming to you from Portland, Oregon for BYU and Texas in the first round of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship, a.k.a. March Madness. It's BYU's second ever NCAA tournament assignment in the state of Oregon. The first in Portland, however, and the first Pacific time zone NCAA tourney game for BYU in some 18 years. This is BYU's 33rd all-time NCAA tournament bid, but only the 5th time BYU will open its tournament run west of the Wasatch Front. Time now for my pregame conversation with BYU head coach Kevin Young, presented by Zions Bank. For all of your personal and business banking needs, visit us online at zionsbank.com or stop by your local Zions Bank branch to meet with a banker in person. Let us show you all the ways Zions Bank is for you. And tonight, Coach Young talks about tipping off the tournament against a team that has already gotten a game in, but has also had to travel a lot of miles to get from Austin to Dayton to Portland to now play a rested and refreshed Cougar club.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the tournament. They had a good win, and they had to, get out here and make quick work of it. But I think this time all that stuff gets thrown out the window. I mean, guys are going to play their hearts out no matter flights, no flights, whatever the case may be, and that's what we're expecting.
How's the last week been for your team post Kansas City?
It's been good. We were able to get a little bit of rest after playing 3 games of 3 nights, high minutes for a lot of our guys. They were able to clean some things up, get some things fine-tuned for this game, and we're ready to go.
With certain teams, you really feel like you know what you're getting with them, and I think Texas is one of them. Huge rebounding emphasis and getting to the free throw line for them.
Yeah, big time. I mean, they don't, low assist rate type team, very isolation and post heavy. Obviously pick and roll for some of their guys as well. So, it's a game where we got to do a great job of guarding the ball one-on-one, but also guarding it with all the other 4 guys as well. Same thing in the post. I mean, the big fella's a low down there. He gets fouled quite a bit. So we'll have to have great team defense, but also tremendous discipline. I think keeping them off the free throw line is extremely important. Plus, it allows us to get out in transition and not slow the game down.
And you're not a team that traditionally fouls a ton.
Yeah, I mean, analytically speaking, we've been sound there.
Yeah.
But obviously, that sounds great until you play a team where that's what they do, right?
Put the heat on you.
Exactly, right? So you got to have great discipline. It's an area we focused in on with our preparation, and our guys got to execute it.
Yeah, where do you feel like your strengths match up well with Texas?
I think it's super important. This time of year, I've made this comment a number of times. You can't make stuff up this time of year, right? So, the areas we want to, I think, highlight that I think we could hurt them in, that stuff that's in terms of stuff we already do is getting out in transition. Like, I really want to play fast, want to play with the pass in transition, try to get to the rim. I mean, they were very not great in the SEC in terms of rim protection and so forth. So that's an area we do a good job of. Points in the paint. You got AJ getting downhill. We do a good job on the glass as well. So I think those are probably the areas that we've kind of talked about internally with the staff probably the most.
They have a pretty high foul rate, and teams do shoot a good number of free throws against them.
Yeah, they foul quite a bit. I don't think that's something that Coach Miller is too thrilled about. I randomly heard a soundbite of his months ago, actually, about him talking about how much they foul. So, AJ's obviously a guy that lives at the line. He's a tough guy to officiate because I think he gets fouled almost on every drive. So, it's going to be important for him to play, not even looking for contact, just go to score. That's kind of what we've told our guys. I mean, they're interesting because they don't give up a lot of threes, right? And so is that perhaps going to give us more driving lanes? We'll see. I mean, I think for me, the jury's still out on how they're actually going to defend us. I think Coach Miller, he seems to have different game plans based on the opponent, where some teams, what they're going to do no matter what.
Maybe a fresh set or fresh sets of officiating guys help a guy like AJ in a tournament like this. You don't know.
You don't know. I mean, I'm hopeful for that. I don't know who the officials are for tonight, but I think we can't get caught up in that. Like I said, he's got to do what he does, which is keep pressure on the defense. And, I think if he just plays the right way, he'll get rewarded for it.
The guy that makes him go is Dalen Swain, and you made a comparison, a favorable one between Dalen and AJ.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't see a lot of guys with their size on the wing that can handle the ball and get downhill the way those two guys can, right? And so, there's going to be some commonalities. Exactly what I'm saying. I'm sure they're saying the same thing in terms of showing crowds and so forth. Mm-hmm. So, it'll be a good matchup.
How beneficial was it, and is it, do you think, for you and some of your guys to have gotten 3 games in a tournament environment here last year?
Super important. I think, just having some experience, knowing what to expect. I think being able, as the leader of the group, giving guys confidence, that we've been here before. And some of the messaging that I've been giving them has been geared towards that, and I think that gives guys confidence.
I know you're locked in on game prep, but it's hard to not absorb the games going on around the country. The vibe is already there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this tournament is so awesome. I mean, for my whole life, I've been glued to the TV on this first weekend especially. So, you are locked in, but, you got it on in the background. You're following what's going on. Like I keep saying, it captivates the country for a reason. So, you got to be able to kind of put all that aside and just go focus on the task at hand, which is Texas.
Coach, thank you as always. Best of luck in this one. We'll talk to you post-game.
Thank you.
That is BYU head coach Kevin Young leading us into tonight's Keys to the Game, brought to you by your local Ford stores. BYU basketball built Ford proud. Mark Durant, keys for the Cougs against the Longhorns of Texas.
I'm going to go with the number 5, and we talked about Texas, their ability to rebound and get to the free throw line. They need to be within 5 total rebounds and within 5 attempted free throws of Texas. I think BYU can do that, stay close to them in those categories, BYU will come away with a win.
Those are Mark's keys to the game. Be within 5 total rebounds of a great rebounding team, and be within 5 free throw attempts of a team with a number 3 nationally free throw attempt rate. There you go. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by R&R Barbecue. Good food, real protein, built for Cougar Nation. And remember, you can't even spell Durant without R&R. The Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show coming up next. You are tuned to coverage of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
You need a deck. You want a pool. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, N.A. member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
Time out, Cougar fans. Are you ready to slam dunk dinner? Introducing Beehive Meals, your all-star for easy family dinners. Beehive Meals does all the prep work so you don't have to, then delivers 10 frozen meals right to your door. Just pop them in a slow cooker and you're set for a buzzer beater and flavor. Beehive Meals is the ultimate assist for busy families. Now available for shipping, so there'll be no more missed shots at dinner. Beehive Meals has got you covered. Visit beehivemeals.com and make tonight's dinner the winning play.
First game, it's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. First game of the late session has tipped off. It is North Carolina against VCU. Right now, North Carolina with a 1-point lead, 11-10 over VCU. About 12 and a half minutes left in that game. Of course, your earlier winners included Michigan State, Arkansas, Duke, Nebraska, High Point, Vanderbilt, Louisville, and TCU. Coming up in just a few minutes, it's going to be BYU tipping off against Texas. Expecting a really good game on that one. Don't forget, we will carry it on KSL radio, but we will not be able to stream it due to NCAA rules. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
Game day traffic on KSL News Radio brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Delays southbound to I-15 prior to the I-80-201 junction due to a crash. More slowdowns from Murray to Draper, and then again as you go from Lehigh all the way to Linden. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
This is the Cougar Tip-Off Show, brought to you by Hyundai. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. The Cougar Tip-Off Show is also brought to you by the all-new Creamery on 9th, now open and serving the new Cougar Paw. Begin your new sweet memories with us. Also by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 35 years. Let's head live to the Utah Eye Center's courtside seats alongside Mark Durant. Here's the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Good evening once again, Cougar Nation. We welcome you back courtside inside the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon, as tonight, West Region 6 seed, the BYU Cougars, open their NCAA tournament run against 11 seed Texas. First time BYU's faced the Longhorns in the NCAA tournament, but BYU has won its last 2 meetings with UT, including a Big 12 get-together back in 2024 at the Marriott Center. Today's game is the third game of the day here in Portland. Earlier today, also in the West Region, 5 seed Wisconsin, upset by the 12 seed High Point. High Point gets its first ever tournament win, 83-82 over the Badgers. So, yes, the 12-5 has already happened. Then 4 seed Arkansas taking care of 13 seed Hawaii, 97-78. That game just before ours here in Portland. The nightcap here at the Moda Center, 3 seed Gonzaga taking on 14 seed Kennesaw State. The BYU Texas winner gets the Gonzaga-Kennesaw survivor in the second round at a time TBD on Saturday. This is the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show, brought to you by Hyundai. There's joy in every journey. Greg Wrubell and Mark Durant with you for play-by-play and commentary. Our studio host is Dave McCann. Coordinating producer is Terry South. Control board operator is Seth Larson. Our BYU radio engineers are Barry Squires and Gary Moss, and you are tuned in on the Varsity Network app, KSL News Radio, and our BYU Sports Network affiliates. Every college basketball season is filled with memorable moments and standout showings from November through February. But March is where most indelible memories are etched in our minds and where legends are made. And Mark, in A.J. DiBonsa, BYU has a player capable of taking his already impressive game to the next level. And BYU may indeed go as far as A.J. can take the Cougars. While every player on the roster certainly has to play well for BYU to advance, it's truly A.J.'s time to shine.
I've always said that the NCAA tournament is built for superstars. Now, that doesn't mean you don't need to have a really good team. You can't do it by yourself, but as I go in my mind over the champions of this great tournament over the years, I can almost assign the name of a particular player to each of those championships because they were a superstar that led their team to a championship. And I've always thought to myself that great players play great in the greatest of games. And these games are the greatest of games. You need to have great players step up and perform. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think AJ's ready. Everything I've seen from him shows me he's ready. He's met every challenge, and he certainly has the ability, and I think his life has been leading up to this. He's got a great future ahead of him, but for now, this is kind of what he's worked for to get to this position. I think he's going to take full advantage of it to the extent he can lead this team to this BYU team to a couple victories here. I think he'll do everything he can to make that happen.
The last time we talked about a player the way we talk about AJ at BYU was 15 years ago with Jimmer Fredette, and like Jimmer Fredette, he had that special nature to his game that won him first-team All-America selections. AJ named the 3 first-team All-America teams this week. Again, the stuff we haven't seen since Jimmer 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's rare. I mean, you can name on your hand the Danny Ainge and Jimmer and AJ and Kresimer, and I mean, those are rarefied names for BYU, and so you just almost have to soak it in while they have it, while they're here. And I've enjoyed the time watching AJ, and I can't wait to see what he can do on the biggest of stages.
Coming up next, we'll hear the pregame thoughts from Texas head coach Sean Miller when the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show continues right after this. Live from Portland and the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship West Region play is coming to you on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
On the court, fouls are part of the game, but on your TV, not so much. You don't have to take a timeout from your values to enjoy your favorite shows. That's where VidAngel comes in. VidAngel lets you filter offensive content from movies and shows on Netflix, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and more, so you can watch more of what you love without the stuff you don't. Now that's something Cougar fans can rise and shout about. Get started today at vidangel.com. VidAngel. Watch more stuff without the bad stuff.
Cougar fans, it's time to gear up and cheer on the team. The BYU store is your #1 source for quality, authentic BYU gear. We've got everything you need to show your Cougar spirit. Get your official Big 12 merch, game day tee, and the latest Nike Authentics, just like the BYU players and coaches wear. Shop the campus store, the arena store, or online at BYUstore.com for the widest selection of BYU clothing and accessories. The BYU store, official outfitter of BYU fans everywhere.
It's a KSL bracket update every 50 minutes, brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. They are underway, of course, again, VCU against North Carolina. VCU right now 18-17 over North Carolina. This game's kind of gone back and forth, and we expect that to happen for the rest of the game. It should be a pretty close one. Michigan against Howard is getting ready to tip off here in just a few minutes, and we've got a pretty exciting evening session that we've got going on, of course, including BYU against Texas. That's going to be tipping off in just a few minutes. You can catch the action right here on KSL News Radio. With your KSL bracket update, I'm Jason Jones.
Did you know KSL's expanded Inside Sources? Get news from 5 to 9, then Inside Sources from 9 to noon here on KSL News Radio.
There's a VIP service package that my wife and I love. The VIP package includes free lifetime warranty, 50% off men's band with purchase of engagement ring, a free electric ring cleaner, a free $50 gift card to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, plus 14 other free services. Buy at Sierra West Jewelers. I promise you'll never regret it.
This is the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show. Let's get back courtside and rejoin Greg Wrubell.
Coming to you from courtside at the Moda Center in Portland on BYU's opening day of play in the NCAA tournament. Cougs, the 6 seed, Texas, the 11 in the West region. Longhorns surviving a first-round showdown, first four showdown with NC State in Dayton on Tuesday to punch a ticket to Portland. Texas, a high-scoring team, top 20 in offensive efficiency thanks to solid shooting, but top 40 offensive rebounding and a ton of free throws. Tuesday in Dayton, the Longhorns won primarily thanks to offensive rebounds and free throws. They were outshot by NC State from the field, the arc, and the stripe. They turned it over more times than the Wolfpack. If you get outshot in those three areas and you have more turnovers, you expect to lose. Texas did not lose, thanks to second chance points and getting to the free throw line so much. During the team's open practice day on Wednesday, head coach Sean Miller shared his thoughts about preparing for the Cougars here in Portland, and he couldn't say enough about BYU's first-team All-American, A.J. DeBonsa.
Yeah, he's an amazing player and talent. I would call him like generational. He's that positionless player. I don't really know what position you want to call him. He can do it all. I think his ability to get fouled is maybe unlike anything I've seen, simply because he shoots 8 free throws a game. He could do it in and around the rim, driving, kind of in that odd spot, 15 to 17 feet from the basket, and it's a real gift for not only him but BYU. I can't give you the words and accolades to describe him. He is a great player, a player that you and we don't oftentimes see in college. You can go a long period of time and not see somebody like him. And obviously watching him in the Big 12, which is a great conference, you average 25 a game. That obviously jumps off the page. I don't know if I can really compare him to a player. No one really jumps out. I guess, you start at the top and you think about what LeBron does in the NBA and just what makes him so unique. It's like, well, what position is he? He's just like a one-man wrecking crew. He can do so many different things. And AJ's his own player, obviously, but to me, that's that unique path that he goes down. His size, his mobility, his skill level, his mindset of being able to be a smart player and make his teammates better, get to the foul line, how he gets to the foul line. It makes it very difficult. The one thing that's different about somebody like AJ is just that scoring punch, just getting fouled and doing it in a different way where he has the ball in his hands at his size. But he's an amazing talent. And look, I'd really fall short if it just stops with him. He obviously plays for a really good coach who puts him in that position and is obviously teaching him how to play the game. And then he's surrounded by a great group of teammates. In particular, I know BYU had a tough injury late in the year, which certainly has hurt them. But their supporting cast is still very good. And they're a good team. They're led by a great player, but they're a good team too.
Well, very complimentary words from BYU's opponent tonight.
Yeah, I think Coach Young and this team, AJ, has the respect of a lot of people, and rightly so. BYU is a program certainly on the rise, getting high-level recruits, and is I think a team that's going to have to be dealt with. And Texas, right back at them. Coach Miller's had great success, and that's a storied program. We're watching them warm up here, Greg. There's not a shortage of athletes on that team in size, and so you know what you're going to get when you face Texas. They're going to throw it up there, and the first shot's almost an afterthought, really. They want the second shot, and they want to get to the free throw line. That's what they're doing, and so it's going to be a real challenge.
Sean Miller, by the way, 14 NCAA tournament appearances, 8 Sweet 16s, 4 Elite 8s. His win percentage ranks 7th among active head coaches. He's won more than 500 games. His 22 NCAA tournament wins rank 10th among active coaches. He is one of the great ones in the game. He's faced BYU 3 times all-time. One time came in the NCAA tournament back in 2007. We went to Lexington, BYU against Xavier. He coached Xavier then. They beat BYU. Last 2 times came in the regular season. They were both Jimmer Fredette seasons. He was coaching Arizona. The Jimmer game down in Tucson where he scored 49. That was Sean Miller's first year with Arizona. And then the next year, Arizona came to Salt Lake City, and at the Delta Center, BYU won again. Jimmer had another great game in that one. So Sean Miller 1-2 all-time against BYU. The Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show continues after this, live from the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship first round at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon on the new skin BYU Sports Network.
Business technology has changed a lot over the last 70 years. But one thing hasn't.
Les Olson is here.
As the years have passed, there's been one constant. And after 70 years and still counting, Les Olson IT is here with the technology and the people to make life easier, more productive, and more secure for your business. Let Les be here for you.
Do you really need to floss your teeth? The saying goes you only have to floss the teeth you want to keep. When brushing or flossing your teeth, have you ever had your gums bleed? Bleeding gums are a key indicator of gum disease, which has been linked to other inflammatory health conditions such as heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and others. A recent study found COVID-19 patients with gum disease were 22 times more likely to have respiratory complications. Have your teeth regularly cleaned by a dentist or hygienist to prevent disease. Find out more at visityourdentist.org. This message brought to you by eAssist Dental Health Education Foundation.
It's a KSL bracket update every 15 minutes, brought to you by the Stern Team Omada. North Carolina opened up a 6-point lead now over VCU. That's 24-18 at the under 8 timeout. Really looking forward to the Texas A&M St. Mary's game, which is going to be coming up here in a few minutes. Also, a little bit later on, Georgia against St. Louis. That should be a really good game. And, of course, we're all looking forward to BYU against Texas. That's going to be coming your way here in the next few minutes. I'm Jason Jones with a KSL bracket update.
For a free consultation, visit dexterlaw.com and call or text us today.
No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up.
I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid
Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Welcome back to the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show. Let's rejoin Greg Wrubell.
The Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show rolls on from the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon, site of 4 West Region openers today. Wisconsin and, High Point and Arkansas were the winners. Wisconsin falling to High Point, Arkansas defeating Hawaii. So High Point and Arkansas advancing in the first 2 games of the day on this floor. BYU and Texas to be followed by Gonzaga and Kennesaw State. They just introduced the 2 teams by name, not the actual players, but just the 2 teams. And Texas got a smattering of noise, and then they introduced BYU's name, Mark, and you really heard it here at the Moda Center. Fans still filing in, by the way, because the early game, they had to add about a half hour to just clear the building and then bring fans in, so they're still coming in, but a lot of BYU fans already in the building here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of burnt orange in the building. They've had a tough travel schedule, probably tough to get a lot of fans up here for this one. And the cheering may get more equal as the Gonzaga fans come in, probably cheering for Texas. But we'll see how it goes. But it's going to be well represented here in the Royal Blue for BYU.
2 weeks ago, BYU was in the unique position of being an NCAA tournament lock, but not playing very well. The Cougs had lost 3 games in a row. The defense was a major issue. Then suddenly, the switch flipped. BYU went on to win 3 in a row while playing vastly improved defense. Yes, BYU dropped its Big 12 tournament finale in Kansas City to Houston. No shame there. But the last 2 weeks, Mark, have certainly enhanced the Cougars' postseason prospects.
Yeah, I think so. I certainly feel a lot better about this team than I did a few weeks ago. And I think Texas has kind of gone through a little bit of what BYU did. They had won 5 in a row and then I think lost 4 or 5. But BYU had the resurgence, as we saw late in the season and in the conference tournament, and Texas is that, they won the other night against NC State. Is that enough to kind of give them the confidence to get off the losing streak that they were on? We'll find all that out in a few minutes, but the point of it is that I think BYU is in a much better spot to be successful than they were a few weeks ago. They're playing as a team. They're playing with confidence. They're playing with aggression. I think Texas is vulnerable, Greg, to being turned over a little bit with that wing pressure from Dominique. And and Hadim and others, I think that can really be a factor in this game. So we'll see if what Texas we get, a team that has lost a bunch of games or a team coming off a big win the other night.
All right, the volume picking up here in the Moda Center because the BYU Cougars have taken the floor for pregame warm-ups. We'll have final thoughts coming up next as the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show continues from the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Business technology has changed a lot over the last 70 years, but one thing hasn't.
Les Olson is here.
As the years have passed, there's been one constant. And after 70 years and still counting, Les Olson IT is here with the technology and the people to make life easier, more productive, and more secure for your business. Let Les be here for you.
On the court, fouls are part of the game, but on your TV, not so much. You don't have to take a timeout from your values to enjoy your favorite shows. That's where VidAngel comes in. VidAngel lets you filter.
So you played high school football, American Fork Caveman. You look like you're built like a linebacker. Am I right? Tight end? What'd you play?
I played wide receiver and running back. Prior to bobsled, I was a lot smaller than I was for the sport of bobsled.
And for all the track athletes out there, they're going to want to know running events, jumping events. You're a wide receiver, so
I did mostly the sprints, 100, 200. Anything over one lap was way too far to run.
That was about enough of that.
Yeah. Talk about growing up, and I guess the difficulty growing up as a military kid. You're moving a lot, and then you had sort of the added layer that you grew up with a stutter, and you and I talked about that in a story in 2013. But sort of how did you handle that? How did sports help? How was that more difficult?
Yeah, I went to 4 high schools in 3 years, so I moved around quite a bit, and it's not always easy to do that, especially when you have a speech impediment and you are trying to meet new people and hi, name is Chris. Everyone's like, who's this new weird kid who came from Utah of all places? But sports was kind of my outlet and really helped me make friends. And I really never experienced a lot of being bullied or picked on, just because I had a lot of friends on the football team and the wrestling team. And again, I was a pretty normal person, but obviously having a speech impediment was pretty hard, especially when I was younger. I've gotten largely over it now, but as a kid, when you're insecure and trying to grow up, it's a very hard thing